any other factors that played a role in you going to law school?
Football wasn't an option. I didn't see myself doing anything other than football.
Okay.
And it's interesting to say that because you would think if somebody has that mentality, they
Right.
have a level of focus that gets them there.
Yep.
But I didn't have that level of focus. And so again, I spoke to Arnold. He told me about the salaries, and I was like, well, I need to figure out a way to sustain the life that I think I want.
Right.
Because I know where I'm at right now. When I was thinking, I was like, where I'm at right now, this isn't it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to figure out a way to make this type of money. And so law was really the only option. I told you before, I had a Bachelor of Arts. And so
Yeah.
I had international studies, major, minor in Japanese and poli-sci. I had two options, be a teacher
Yeah.
or go to law school. And
Right.
so, law school was the only option. So that's what I did.
Okay. No, and that's I guess, great point before we kind of go into kind of how did you choose a law school? If you can do it over again from an undergrad standpoint, because I always tell people, man, it's obviously I have an engineering undergrad degree, which I think that's very valuable. But it's just some degrees that, and I it just doesn't make sense to get. So if you can do it all over again, would you do a or would you major in bachelor of arts, or would you go into something else?
Man, I'm telling you right now, if I could do it all over again, I'd either went to Harvard or Princeton or or Brown on full scholarship for football, broke every record, man. They'd have been like, yo, you going to the NFL? Nope. I'm going
Right.
into private equity. That's it. Because one of my guys who I have touch points with at least once a year, man, he's a partner at Thoma Bravo. Dude just bought a $10 million crib in Miami. It's in the
Wow.
newspaper, and it probably didn't even touch his pockets. Like, it was just like, so if I could do it all over again, if I knew what was out there,
Yeah.
I'd go, get a bachelor's science and, something in business related, but I'd have gone to an Ivy League school
Yeah.
and I would have been at Thoma Bravo.
Right.
Or,
No, look, and it's very interesting that you said that, because I was at the gym the other day and I was talking to someone, and my first ever football recruiting letter in a 10th grade was to Princeton University. And a lot of other Ivy League schools followed thereafter. But just kind of growing up, it was always pushed, man. You need to go to a Power 5 school. You need to, play football for one of those teams, because that's going to give you the best chance to get to the next level. But kind of looking back on it now, like you said, I definitely wish I would have kind of went that route, and like you said, went there, balled out, and even got an engineering degree. And man, it would have been I would have been a man for
I'm
real.
glad you did, man, because you might not be talking to me right
Yeah,
now,
for
or better
sure.
yet,
No, that's
I might be
true.
working for you.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Not interviewing me like, yo, Taylor, where is my, I need this by 8.
Right.
Yeah, because there's so much money out there in different
Yeah.
industries, and we just
Yep.
didn't know, man. I
Absolutely.
remember a teammate of mine in high school. He was a 5-star athlete, and I was talking to his mom. She said, "Oh, what you gonna do if football doesn't work out?" I was like, "I don't know. What are you talking about?
Right.
Maybe law." And she was like, "There's no money in law," and I'm like, had no idea. There's people
Yep.
here who make 40. They're the top for sure, but they make like $45 million a year.
Wow.
And
And
then you've got average folks who make $10 million a year. And
right.
this isn't like, oh, you can only play for 10 years. No,
Yeah.
it's you can do this till you're 65
Yeah.
or
20,
until
30
you
years.
and that's a different level of wealth.
Yep.
That's a
Yep.
different level of wealth, man. We just had no idea. So yeah, that's funny you said Princeton, because I had Georgetown. Georgetown offered me, and I went and saw the stadium, and I was like, I'm not coming to play here. I was like, man, I'm going to the league. I'm trying to make money.
Right.
Little did I know.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons for this channel, because I want to be able to kind of talk to very successful people such as yourself, to give their experience, to provide that information, so other people watching it, they are not getting like misinformation from people who just don't know because they haven't been there. Again, just think of somebody who, again, no disrespect or to anyone, but somebody who's making 40, 50 grand trying to tell you how to make $1 million, trying to make $500,000. It's just so far from their reality that it's almost like they're going to give you unconsciously misinformation, because they just don't know any better. And in some ways they can be jaded, when you're 40, 45 and things didn't work out the way you wanted to. And that's why the guy from Domino's giving you that advice, I think that was solid advice, because a lot of people who are maybe in less fortunate situations, they can take a jaded approach, especially when mentoring other people. So
Yeah, and